In order to facilitate exploration with infants and toddlers, you need to prepare the environment by setting up the materials you will use to engage the child in exploring. Determine a time and a place in your setting for exploration time. As you watch the video, did you notice that these caregivers arranged for a variety of toys that fit the needs of the children in their group? There are 3 parts to the strategy of facilitating exploration. The first is to provide interesting materials, toys, and books for the child to explore. Second, talk about the materials by labeling and describing their different characteristics, like size, color, texture, and shape. The third part is to remember to pause and give the infant time to respond. Babies' reactions will vary, but may include looking at you and at the object, which is joint attention. They may also make a noise while they look at you and the object. At around 4 to 6 months, babbling appears. Babbling is when the baby produces a series of consonant-vowel sounds, like ba-ba-ba or da-da-da. When the baby is about a year old, he or she will attempt to use parts of words that progress to actual words. Watch this next video clip and notice how the providers use books to support language and learning with infants of different ages and developmental levels.
Vino la lluvia y la hizo mojar, vino la tormenta y la hizo caer, el sol salió, el agua se secó, de nuevo la...
Babies are naturally curious about the things around them. The role of the teacher is to create an environment that supports their free exploration, setting the stage for lifelong curiosity and learning. This exploration and play facilitates cognitive awareness, develops fine and large motor skills, and enhances social skills as well as language development. Observe how this classroom builds on children's interests by using books. As Zephaniah and I read a book together, notice the close physical contact, positive language, and a warm tone. Even though he cannot hold the book, notice his steady gaze and focus. Nadia, who is 6 months old, can hold and manipulate a book herself. She is learning that books contain pictures and words. There are different pictures on each page, and the pages can turn to expose new pictures. These types of experiences over time show infants that the objects pictured in the book are related. When a provider reads a book to the baby also begins to associate the pictures with words. Toddlers build on these skills when they play with books. They learn that books tell stories. They expand their vocabulary and are exposed to many different objects, animals, people, and actions. By offering babies a variety of appropriate books to explore, these early experiences become the precursor to later literacy.
Are you having fun with your book? Are you having fun with your book?
Did you notice that when providing books for the infants, the caregiver held the youngest baby closely on her lap and pointed out the pictures using a warm, calm tone? With the older infant, the caregiver allowed her to hold and manipulate the book herself, so she could look at the pictures and learn to turn the pages to find new and different pictures. Reading books to infants expands their vocabularies and helps them understand that books tell stories. In the next clip, notice how the environment is arranged for non-mobile infants to explore materials. Also, pay special attention to the different materials that are provided for these experiences depending on the developmental needs of each infant.
Younger infants typically require more routine care, more sleep, more bottles, and more diaper changes during the day. But when the infants are awake and ready to explore, the teachers can take advantage of this opportunity by providing them a variety of materials and experiences. Non-mobile children have yet to develop the physical skills that allow them to move about the classroom independently. They rely on adults in the classroom to bring them appropriate toys and to move them to different areas. This requires caregivers to be keenly aware of each child's developmental needs. Caitlin is sitting up independently but not yet crawling. By placing different types of toys on the floor in small bins or on low shelves, she can continue playing for as long as she is interested. A variety of toys within reach lets her select something new when she is ready. Ian is not yet rolling over consistently. As he uses the toy keys, he drops them. He does not have the skills to find the toy he was playing with. It is important for Ian's caregivers to watch him and be aware of what he is doing. In this case, Carolina noticed he dropped his toy and offered him another one. Eden's teachers provide toys for her on the floor within her reach. She is not yet sitting up, so her choice of materials is limited to the toys very close to her. Notice how Carolina moves her to a new location when she is no longer happy.
Yes, let's find something else to do. Yes.
Let's consider a very young infant. Zephaniah is 7 weeks old and new to the program. Even at such an early age, Zephaniah still needs learning materials. I offer him a soft bear. Zephaniah looks at it and then feels the soft bear while experiencing warm, supportive language and physical comfort. I also take toys and move them in front of Zephaniah's face to stimulate visual tracking. At this age, the caregiver's participation in the use of play materials is essential. For the younger infants, the teachers can enhance the physical development by placing objects close to them. This allows them to discover the object while waving hands or kicking legs. Hanging objects in front of a young infant can also help the child work toward the next developmental stage of batting at a toy. If the baby can grasp, the teacher simply makes sure there are toys available where the child can see and pick them up.
I'm gonna try this. Ooh, you're in the gym. Look at that. What do we have here? A rattle and an elephant and a parrot. That's a lot of fun things. And over here you have a mirror. Do you see yourself?
The previous video provided many ideas about the materials that you might use and how to arrange them in your classroom. Did you notice how the caregivers brought a variety of toys to the infants for exploration? These included toy phones, colorful beads, stacking rings, and a doll. Various toys were placed on low shelves or bins for babies to explore as long as they were interested. For younger infants, the caregiver noticed when the baby dropped the toy he was playing with and provided him with it again. When babies got bored, they were moved to another space where they could engage in a new experience. Even a 7-week-old infant needs learning materials like the soft bear and colorful keys used by the caregiver to stimulate visual tracking. Placing toys on a mobile within a young infant's reach encourages them to bat at the toy or grasp it if they are able. Providing a variety of toys and materials that are well organized and accessible to babies is important, but what matters even more is the support you provide and the ways that you interact with the infants in your care. This gives them the freedom to explore the environment because they feel safe and to attach meaning to the experiences they are having. Watch this next segment to see how the caregivers interact with infants and facilitate their exploration of different types of toys.
The busy book. Busy book. Monkey sip.
The interaction and caregiving offered by teachers is crucial in facilitating an infant's cognitive development, as well as meeting their emotional, social, and physical needs. Toys and materials alone do not create a high-quality environment. It is the adult support and interaction that allow children to feel safe, secure, and comfortable exploring their environment. In this program, Carolina and I are very familiar with the likes and dislikes of the children, as well as their different temperaments.
Listen to the music.
We are aware that Nadia often plays independently, so we make sure and remember to play with her, even though Nadia may not cry or fuss. Nadia has spent time this morning in the cozy book area of the room, enjoying books, soft toys, and interacting with other children. However, because she has been on this side of the room and is not crawling yet, she needs adult support to experience different types of toys. It is important for us to interact with her and move her to other areas of the room so she can explore the wide variety of materials provided. Some of the other infants seem to want and need more interaction with their caregivers. Today, Eden is showing signs of needing to be held, even though her physical needs have been met. Carolina soothes her and will engage her with learning materials when Eden becomes relaxed and interested. While providing lots of interesting materials, Carolina and I also want to make sure we do not overstimulate the children.
What does a doggy say? Hi. Hi. The doggy says hi. Doggy says woof woof. The doggy says woof woof.
Do you want one?
Infant teachers may wonder how many toys are really needed for this age group, particularly for the non-mobile children. Infants do not need stacks of toys around them, of course, or forced play with materials when not interested. Instead, the skillful and knowledgeable teacher facilitates experimentation with materials based on each child's unique interests, abilities, and needs. Teachers can watch for cues from the children to make sure they are interested in play and are enjoying the activities in the classroom. Teachers create an environment that offers children familiar toys as well as new materials. Providing a well-stocked classroom with different learning materials and furnishings helps teachers to meet the needs of all the children in the group.
Let's roll it back to Christopher.
You watched a few examples of caregivers providing toys to children and describing them in detail. The caregivers interacted with the children during group time and individual play. They provided a variety of materials and support for exploration for children with differing needs during the typical care routines of the day. Now, take some time to reflect on the videos you just watched and answer the following questions in a few sentences on the discussion forum. 1. In what ways did you see the caregivers interacting with the infants? 2. How did they help the babies explore different types of toys? 3. How did the caregivers respond to different needs of the babies? 4. What did you learn about the number and types of toys to provide for babies? 5. Please respond to at least one other person's post. Remember, you can go back and watch the videos again if you'd like.